Good morning, sports fans. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com, streaming live on the web 24/7. I'm Scott Kirby, your host, along with Joe Ryan, and we are at the Christian Village, the newly remodeled and completely updated Christian Village. It's Lincoln's only faith-based retirement community and is the area's leader for independent, assisted, and skilled senior living. So keep that in mind, Joe.
It's right there in the back of my
Right.
mind.
The Christian
Say
Village.
I'm old?
Not yet. Just
Right.
you still gotta change that
Someday.
billboard picture. It's very
Someday.
deceiving. The Christian Village provides quality, compassionate care and loving Christian environment, offering a wide array of living options for older adults, such as independent living, rehabilitation, skilled nursing, and memory care. The Christian Village, located at 1507 7th Street in Lincoln. For a private consultation and tour of the campus, please phone Kara at 217-732-2189.
Wow, that was a lot.
It was.
You got that all out
did.
right at the beginning. Nice job.
Get that done.
It's a nice place up here.
It is. They have an outstanding rehab services as well, and they're almost home service, which is a new service they're offering.
We talked about that a few weeks ago on here with Kara.
And you can call Julie to find out more details about that.
And this is a nice little room right here. I feel like I'm at home in the living room, laying around. I'd like the TV to be a little bigger, but
well,
we can work on that.
Your TV, you're not going to find a bigger TV than what you have. So
oh, they're out there.
Well, I don't know how.
You've got to look for those sales. Go behind Best Buy in some of those places. They got them laying out back. That's where I got that one.
Yeah, sure.
That's exactly where I got it.
Really?
What's the cheapest?
The one in the basement?
What's the biggest, cheapest TV you have? Guy runs me right around and shows me.
Oh, well,
there you go.
And Joe Ryan, the name Joe Ryan doesn't hurt either.
Oh, no.
That'll
really help you. That'll get you someplace.
A lot of sports going on right now. The Final Four kicking off today. Couple of good matchups, some upsets, some matchups that we weren't even expecting, Joe.
Oh, no. Where do they go? 5 o'clock and 7:45 tonight. UConn going to take on Florida in the first game. And, UConn has came out of nowhere, really, I think. I think they got a 2 seed, but I really overlooked them. I didn't think they were going to come out and do anything. They got a new help me, what was the coach's name that was there forever? I can't remember him, but Calhoun was
Jim
there.
Calhoun.
And there's some help from our audience out here.
Yes.
We've got about, what do you think, between 200 and 300 people here today.
The place is packed.
Yeah,
you can't fit too many more in here.
We got people want to sit on the couch with us, but we got some help there from the crowd. Calhoun, he was there forever, and I just didn't think this team would step out there. I overlooked them.
Oh, I did too.
But they've made a great run, beat a few teams I didn't think they'd beat, and now they're going to take on number 1 seeded Florida, who they obviously have all the tools.
Yeah, I don't know about their scoring, but their defense is amazing, and they're
coached
impressive.
well.
Yeah, Bobby Donovan, coach. He's already won 2 titles.
Looks like he works on Wall Street with that slickum in his hair.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it takes him to do his hair. I've worked with a few football coaches over there that kind of did their hair over the years. They kind of did their hair before games, and I always wondered about it.
I wouldn't think it would take that long to throw some stuff in there and comb it back.
But you may have several combs, though, to get that fine look that he has, to pull it all the way back and make it stay an entire game.
Are you even watching the game, or are you looking how people
No, but
look?
sometimes things are funny. Guy does all that to his hair to go coach a basketball game. That's funny.
That is kind of funny that you would even think of that. But the leading scores for UConn, Napier, averaging 17.4.
We're saving some gas now.
Oh, we got a little.
Oh.
Yeah.
We got some technical difficulties.
Yeah, when you pull up something on the internet anymore, you got about 100 ads.
Whoa. What is that?
I don't know. Anyways.
Kidding. Only kidding, Tammy.
There we go. All right, back to the game. Napier scoring, averaging 17.4, and Prather for Florida 14.2. Napier, they're kind of comparing him to, remember Kemba Walker back when they won? Come game time, they just step up, and boy, he's been their go-to guy.
I know those guys. Everybody's has their troubles, but I think the Florida boys have been in trouble. He's really had to discipline them and let them come back, and discipline them and let them come back, and he's got them all playing well right now. So they're probably the team to beat, wouldn't you say?
I
Florida?
would say I haven't won it all, but that's the only team I have left. Your bracket? How's your bracket looking?
I haven't missed a game.
You're going to win $1 billion.
Nobody. The brackets, I didn't do a real bracket
didn't.
this year. I did the final 16, but I didn't start from the beginning, so that's where it's tough. It's not easy when you do it from the final 16, but it's easier than when you stick all 64 in there. That second game tonight, Kentucky-Wisconsin, I think
you've got a little interest in that
watch.
game, but I was hoping there would be 3 Big Ten teams in. Michigan and Michigan State had it, right there, and then they blew it last weekend. We potentially could have had 3 Big Ten teams in the Final Four, but that didn't work out the way we wanted it.
But I didn't know that it was Bo Ryan's first time getting in the Final Four.
Yeah, he's been coaching I don't know how many years, but he was in where was it, junior college up in Wisconsin somewhere. I want to say not Platteville, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're
Platteville.
right.
And he's been to several Final Fours, and that's Division II, I do believe. But yeah,
and I love the
Division
team.
I.
I mean, they have a lot of skill players. They have a lot. They big man inside. As a team, I love to watch them play. My son Marty lived in Wisconsin for a while, so I kind of got me rooting for him. And that Ding Dong Shaner, when he was here, his buddy
was a
head
football coach
for Wisconsin. So I kind of became a Wisconsin fan. Got some gear. I like to watch them play, and they've got their hands full tonight, huh?
They do. Kentucky, a young team. Nobody really expected them to get this far either, but that's just what Calipari does. He goes out and drafts these young kids. They don't play well during the season because they're still learning, but then once come tournament time, he's got them playing the way.
Is it 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores start on that team?
Yeah.
And weren't they ranked number 1 when we started the season? Is that right? Do you remember?
Any help from the crowd?
We got some help from the crowd. Not everybody at once. Yes,
okay.
yes, thank you. Third in the back row. Get her something. Get her a pizza or a box candy or something. I think they were number 1. And how quickly we forget how you go through. That's why all this preseason stuff and all that makes, to me, it's all just a bunch of something to talk about, like for goofballs like you and I. But there's no, it doesn't mean anything, preseason stuff or the first few games of the year, because what were they, a seed? Were they like a 7 or an 8 seed?
8.
Yeah,
Kentucky was an 8.
An 8 seed.
So you're talking not even top 25 team once tournament started.
And number 1 in the beginning. So it's kind of a joke. But really, when you watch those guys play, wow, up and down the court, isn't everybody like 6'6" or above?
Yeah, they're athletic. And their leading scorer, Randall, averaging 15. He's also their leading rebound with 10.5 rebounds per game. And Harrison leading an assist at 3.8 for Wisconsin. Kaminsky. How you say that? Kaminsky.
Yeah,
he's
tough.
He's got to be Polish. 13, averaging about 13, almost 14 points a game. Also their leading rebounder. They're big. They're physical. I don't know if they can keep up with the speed of Kentucky, though.
Yeah, that's the deal. Kentucky rebounds well. They all hit the boards. Somebody puts a shot up and everybody comes flying in. So let's go ahead and put you on the spot here, fella. I mean, who's going to play for that championship and who's going to win it? Because next week we're going to talk about it.
I think it's going to be Florida-Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's big enough to slow down the inexperienced Kentucky kids. If they can control the pace of the game, Wisconsin that is. If they can control and play at their speed, I think they can do it. And then I think Florida will handle UConn with no problem.
Well, I guess I should kind of go the opposite then and just tell you that I think it's going to be UConn and Kentucky, right?
Well,
we can't go together. It's not like we're going to hold hands and skip out of this place.
Well, I know you want Wisconsin to win. Just
I'm a Wisconsin fan.
You can take Wisconsin. Tell what you really think.
Tell you what, I really think UConn will give Florida all they want just because it's, they're clicking right now. And I think Kentucky gets Wisconsin in foul trouble, and actually they beat them because they hit the board so hard. Kaminsky will look slow against this Kentucky team. He'll get in foul trouble once you take him out. They lose their inside game. I'm saying that it's Kentucky and UConn. Here we go. There you go.
Well, here we go. Well, we got
something to argue about.
We got riding on this.
I'd say pizza.
Well, okay.
Look at both of us. We could use some pizza.
All right, we'll bring it in next show. Phone lines are open, 737-3791, if you want to call in and give us your thoughts of the games tonight, who you think is going to advance to the championship game Monday night. Give us a call, or you can email us, cheapseats963@gmail.com. got it up and running and have not received a single email. So please send one so I make sure this thing works.
Let's see if it works. And also, if you're out there and you've got a sport going on, call in and tell us about what's going on with it.
Yeah, any local sports, we'd love to have some updates on that. It's hard to find updated sports. I guess I don't read a paper every day, but
Can you read?
I can read, and I can also look at the pictures. But
well, you know what? And enough people. We talked about this the other day. You know what? Just call in. There's a lot of people don't call in because they go, well, I don't want to sound goofy on the radio, or this and that. Well, look at us.
Yeah, you're gonna make us. We'll make you. We'll make you look good.
We are gonna make you look smart.
Good.
Just
or
call.
If you don't want to call in, send us an email. Once again, it's cheapseats963@gmail.com. And, I'll keep refreshing it if you want to email. Everybody's got smartphones these days. You can email right from your phone. Send us an email if a question or something you want us to talk about, and we'll definitely do that.
Works for me. Where are we jumping to now?
Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back. We can talk some more basketball. We got some, obviously, baseball seasons in full force right now. NFL draft coming up. And any local sports anybody wants to talk about. So stay tuned. I'd also like to thank some of our sponsors.
Yeah, let's throw one out there. Let's start. You want to start at the top?
Well, we'll just scramble them because we always start from the top on the same list. But we'd like to thank Lincoln College, Fricky Calvert Schrader Funeral Homes, Eaton Corporation, Goodwill of Lincoln, Century Dental Center, Characters Pub, and Below No Smoke. I'd like to thank those cheap seat sponsors to allow this to happen.
Yeah, get out and visit them. They've got to make some money so they can pay these sponsorship fees, right? Although they're very, very low. Very low for a show like this.
Yes, because, actually, if we stay on the air too much longer, we're probably going to start paying them.
Well, there's a lot of high-dollar things that go into this. if you guys have ever seen the chords that are going on here, you'd think you're hosting the Grammys.
Yeah, there's a lot of chords. And with technology these days, you think a lot of that would be wireless. But Jim loves setting it up.
I think this is how Jim keeps his job. He's the only one who knows how to hook this thing up.
And we did get our first email, Lloyd Kirby. and he asked
Lloyd Kirby. Now, let's see. You know what? I didn't even know Lloyd was a listener.
And he wants to know how the Cubs did yesterday. Well, we're going to, Lloyd, I'm not going to respond to you because you're sitting right across the room from
Lloyd
us.
bringing some humor in here today.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah, so we'll talk about how the Cubs did in a later segment. But we're going to take a commercial break right now. Stay tuned. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com.
Hey, golden mackerel, no doubt about it. The Cubs are on.
Yeah.
Hey, home.
The Cubs are gonna hit today. They're gonna hit today. They're gonna feel today.
They haven't done any of that this year. They've done pretty good pitching, but their hitting is, wow.
Leaves a little to be desired, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, you know what? They've got a nice old ballpark out there.
Yeah, and Jim we're going to have a trivia question here. He's wanting to know who the last Cub was to win 20 games in a season.
Oh, I thought he meant in a career.
Well, yeah. Well,
He meant for a season?
The trivia question today is who was the last Chicago Cub to win 20 games in a season? I Googled it, and they don't even know. So
You've got somebody up early at Google now that's got to go to work. He got called in.
Yeah, so maybe it's never happened. I don't know, but we'll see. If anybody knows, call in. And even if you don't know, we don't know the answer, so you can just tell us anybody, and you're going to win a large 2-topping pizza from Stuffed-Eria. So call in. Who was the last 20-game winner for the Chicago Cubs?
Well, we'll just keep it right there then. We'll just talk a little bit about the Cubs. What are they? They're 1-3. Are they eliminated yet? Are they still in the playoffs?
We're not math. Oh, hey. Okay. We do know the answer now. But we didn't have a caller. We need a caller first. So
we do have an answer.
We do. We have our
Was it somebody from the crowd again?
The brains behind this operation was right on it. And
we've had 2 fist fights out in the crowd here, people trying to get up closer to us. Now we've got...
Yeah, he must have a different Google than I have.
We brought in Craig Rios from State Trooper to come stand up front, keep people off of us. Yeah, so the Cubs did win a game, though. So really, it's been a pretty positive week for them.
Well, you know, they've been in the game. We've only lost. We got blown out yesterday by the Phillies, and
that was home opener, right?
Our cameraman is a huge Phillies fan, and I'm not looking at him right now. But yeah, they opened up the season in Pittsburgh, lost 1-0 in extra innings, and then lost the next day again by 1 run, and then we were able to pull one off to wrap that series up. Now,
didn't they lead yesterday 2-0? Last score I saw was 2-0, and then all of a sudden
2-0, and then you turn it back on. It's 7-2.
The Eagles scored a touchdown. They're down 7-2.
Yeah. It's not going to be a fun year for all you Cub fans, but that's why we're Cub fans, because when it does happen,
and it's
right
coming.
there.
I'm telling you.
So don't jump off the wagon yet. We've known this is coming. It's going to be a long year for us Cubbies, but.
We got anybody out there that's undefeated? I'm looking around here. It looks like the Detroit Tigers, 3-0.
Detroit Tigers? Yeah, they're spending some money too. And we got to talk Cardinals. And if anybody wants to come in and sit on the show with us that's a Cub fan, I encourage you to come on, because I'm surrounded by all Cardinals, and, we got one Philly.
And you know what? Come on up here, because don't be embarrassed about it. It's still early. They're in playoff contention. Don't be embarrassed about being a Cub fan. Come on up here.
Yeah, get on up here. Talk some Cubbies.
We'd love to talk to you. We'll talk Cubs baseball. What's going on today? The Cardinals are at Pittsburgh tonight, and the Cubs are at home. Day game, right? 2:20, 1:20.
1:20
against the Phillies.
Against the Phillies. You going up, Lloyd? No, I thought Lloyd would go up to that.
And we got a caller. You going to take that on?
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Is it John Lieber?
Yes, sir. It is John Lieber. Who are we talking with here?
This Ross.
Ross? And last
Ross,
name?
Arlington.
I got you. What your last name, Ross?
Dowell.
Dow? Okay. Hey, you can pick that pizza coupon up at Joe Ryan's Country Financial up on the historical downtown Lincoln Square.
All right.
Did you have to look that up on the internet? Did you know that?
I had a pretty good idea. I double-checked myself.
You didn't want to call up on this radio and be wrong, did you?
And
No.
and what year was that? Do you know the year?
Well, you're really putting him on the spot.
Well, I'm just...
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was 2001.
I think I was going to say 3.
Okay, yeah. 2001, John Lieber was our last 20-game winner. That was a long time ago.
Yep. You know what, though? Good memory. And if you're a Cub fan, you're sure going to remember that, aren't you?
That's right. And are you a Cub fan, Ross?
I'm a baseball fan.
Okay.
Oh, well,
that's
you
a
know
good
it
answer.
then.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
I'll have that coupon up front for
Yeah.
you, but Monday morning, anytime, stop in.
All right.
I mean,
Okay.
anytime during the week, I'll just have it up there for you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Ross.
Thanks, Ross.
That's Ross Dow, the winner, man. He's he didn't necessarily say he was a Cub fan, but he's a baseball fan in general.
Yeah,
so,
he probably didn't want to tell us that part.
Well, you can't be ashamed.
No. If you're a fan, you're a fan.
Yeah, because then when they are winning, you're going to be right there. So you got to take the bad with the good, and boy, is there going to be a lot of bad.
Well, if somebody, I think it's one of the best ballparks to go to, and I'm a Cardinal fan.
Absolutely.
I love Wrigley Field, but boy, I don't like getting in and getting out of it. If somebody would,
Yeah.
if I was wealthy and somebody could drop me off in a helicopter, they would hover above it, I could crawl down a ladder and get in my seat. I'd go all the
I
time.
would
But
love to see that.
what's wrong with that?
There's Joe. Oh, Joe just fell off the helicopter.
Somebody pushed me.
Yeah.
My mom.
But no, Wrigleyville, just the atmosphere, it's awesome. But yeah, you're right. It's hard to get out
That's
of
a
that.
nightmare.
Yeah. So, but the easiest way, what we usually do, we take the train up and take a cab over.
Yeah, that's easy.
Because there's no parking. It's literally in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just a congested mess.
But they're trying to revamp that whole area. They're wanting to put a hotel in and all that.
Yeah, and you
stuff.
see that there's that piece of me that says, don't do that. Leave it like it is, make it a mess.
But
you
got to get up with the times.
That's one thing about when you go to a Cardinal game, you can pop right down and off the interstate, park easily.
And that's a nice stadium.
Okay.
Too.
It is. It's a beautiful
If you
place.
want to talk some Cardinals, we got to talk some Cardinals.
We don't need to talk. The thing about this, I like to talk about the Cubs early and some of the other teams early because we'll be talking about the Cardinals in October.
All right, that's going to do it for this show. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
Why bore these people and talk about the Cardinals all the time?
Well,
You know what I mean?
because, I'm a baseball fan too, but I just don't really like talking about the Cardinals.
It's all right. You're going to get over it this year.
Yeah.
Get you some Cardinal gear.
If my in-laws would just leave me alone, they're huge Cardinal fans. If they would just, let me be, I would probably root for the Cardinals in postseason, but can't do it.
Well, if the Cardinals aren't winning, I'm rooting for the Cubs, I'll tell you that.
Really?
Absolutely.
Then you're not a true Cardinal fan.
Yes, I am. I grew up going to Cardinal games. I'm a Cardinal fan. I've just, it's not any fun around Central Illinois to have two teams that aren't from around here in it, It's okay when the Sox are in, but we don't have a bunch of Sox fans here, really. There's a few out there. Call in if you're out there.
I know a lot of Sox fans, but they all live in Chicago.
Yeah, and so you know what? It's just as much fun, not as much fun, but almost as much fun to have the Cubs in it when the Cardinals can't be. Well, it just doesn't happen very often.
Preseason predictions, they have the Cardinals, and a lot of people have Tampa Bay in the World Series. It's come down to the Cardinals and the Dodgers in the National League, and Tampa Bay and Boston in the American League. That's just preseason.
And see, I'm old school. I just can't get used to Tampa Bay having a baseball team.
Yeah, but they're solid.
Well, they should be.
And look at that, look at that division they're in. Baltimore was decent last year. Yankees, Boston, Tampa Bay. That's a tough division.
That is a tough division.
Then you look at the Central: Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago, Kansas City, Minnesota. That's weak.
Weak.
That's weak.
Get out west. Weak.
Weak. Yeah, I mean, Angels. They spent like $3 billion on their payroll last year and finished on what, dead last, or just above Houston?
Yeah, just above Houston. How can Houston be so bad? It's amazing how some teams can be so bad.
They just transferred from National League to American League last year, and they're on a rebuilding process. They had those years with the Killer Bees, Biggio, Bagwell, Berkman, and they rode those guys for many years and didn't build up anything behind them. And then, when they got to be your age and retired,
their 30s?
No, they're upper 40s, and then they didn't have anybody to replace them. So now they're kind of on a rebuilding trend, I guess.
They need to rebuild something there. Maybe the Astrodome would help.
They're not playing there anymore.
I'm saying rebuild the Astrodome.
Oh, okay. They don't play there anymore, right?
No, they don't play there. They tore it down. They boomed it out, right?
Yeah.
Imploded it.
Yeah.
It was the first one, right? We'll talk to our fans out in the crowd. Wasn't that the first dome?
Astrodome, yeah.
It was a big dealio. I remember back when that grass carpet, real thin, they put that grass over that concrete and said, here you go, run over and catch a ball. Yeah. That's why there's a lot of problems with that stuff. Now we have the rubber chips, make it much better.
Yes, a little easier playing surface. Any more baseball talk? Because I'm done with it.
No, unless some callers want to call in and tell us something about their favorite team. Call in and spout off to us a little bit about where your team's going to finish. They going to beat the Cubs? Well, that's not a fair question.
Yeah, that's just, you're just rubbing it in now. But Philly, is Rollins coming back today, Lloyd? Okay, Jimmy Rollins, that's great. Jimmy Rollins will be back in the lineup now. He left for a little while. Just had another baby, right? His second? Well, he didn't plan that real well.
Well,
let's have our baby right at the beginning of the season. So,
boy, did the people come out of the woodwork to tell him how to do that.
I know.
You know what?
You got to plan that better. That's just bad planning.
Yeah, there are some, we're looking for calls this morning, but boy, did they jump out of the woodwork on a guy that's having a baby and what he should do and, this and that. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I think having a baby is a little more important than missing a couple of baseball games.
Well, not if you're a Philly fan. They're pretty diehard out there.
It was actually Daniel Murphy that they got.
Oh, is that Murphy? But, yeah, I mean, they jumped all over that guy about he shouldn't go home, he shouldn't take 3 days. Maybe they have something if it's a World Series game, but all these early games, who cares?
Or who cares? And they're playing the Cubs. You can beat the Cubs without him.
Oh, I didn't even think they could. Does the whole team go when they play the Cubs?
They might have. They could have brought up their AAA.
I was just going to say, they've got some empty bus seats on that ride.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk about something else here.
All right.
This is just a train wreck.
Pick a subject.
Pick a subject.
Well, let's stay on baseball. We'll go to local. We're going to have Coach Courtwright and Coach
Yeah.
Miller in here. Not in 2 weeks. They're supposed to come in. They can't next week. They have a home game, but they're going to come in 2 weeks and tell us about this baseball team. I know that they're pretty high on the team. They got some kids that are doing a great job of pitching. They're hitting the ball a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know the record exactly. You have it up. I think they did.
I don't have a record. I know they started off the season against Southeast and beat them like 17-2. And then I know they've had some close games with Champaign Central. I don't know who else they've played, but today they're at Eisenhower and MacArthur. So I don't know if they have a double header, one game against Eisenhower, one game against MacArthur. It's kind of what it's looking like.
Hey, you know what? I'll say to you what I said to him. He told me that. He said that's who they were playing, and I said, oh yeah, and he said, yeah, we'll play one and then we'll play the other one.
Okay.
Because I thought they may have played them both at the same time. Because I didn't.
Well, how do you do that? You'd have
That's what I thought.
You'd have
He said it to
18
me like
people out in the field.
he said it to me like I didn't understand that they would play one team and then the other. They were going over to play them both. And I thought, boy, that's kind of ganging up. Why don't we grab somebody like Chatham and go over and play them so we have two teams too?
It's not an all-star game.
He said it to me last
Joe.
night. We'll play one of them and then we'll play the other one.
And you're
Really?
like, oh, okay.
And I was confused.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easily done. But that's kind of would have to be a disadvantage to Lincoln, wouldn't you think? Because they're playing. Let's say they play Eisenhower the first game, but then you got a fresh MacArthur coming in the second. Unless, well, that wouldn't work either. See, now I'm just thinking talking before I think.
Ooh, don't do that.
Yeah, I get you in trouble. The boys softball or sophomores, they're at Limestone today. That's a doubleheader against Limestone at 11 a.m.
And that game's at help me with this now. Is that Tomei Field? Jim Tomei, is that who's over there?
He's
Is
from
he from
over there.
Limestone?
He's from the Bartonville area, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think he built some complex or something over there.
Like a indoor stadium.
Well, they're playing outside, but
Oh.
I think he built like some baseball diamonds or something over there. Giving back a little bit, you know what I mean?
Well, you got to, just like you do. You give back to the community.
Pay
you
it
know?
forward, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And then give it back.
Some other high school events going on today. Boys tennis, they are at the Maroon Invite. Now, is that Clinton or is that Champaign?
Don't know that answer, but a good question. Let's get some of our... we don't have any more pizzas to give away, but that was a good trivia question.
It was.
Somebody could call in.
Boys tennis today at 8 a.m. So they've already been underway for about an hour and a half now. So good luck to those boys.
It's a pretty cold morning.
Yeah,
Play some tennis.
Play some tennis. Girls varsity soccer, they're at Williamsville at 10 o'clock. And girls sophomore soccer, they're also at Williamsville at 10 o'clock. Wow. How's that work? They play half a field? Joe?
I think we play... Lincoln plays Lincoln and Williamsville plays Williamsville, and then we head back on the bus. Switch buses.
That's a win-win right there.
It's funny stuff. You're a funny guy.
Well, you make it easy.
Yeah.
So that looks like, well, let's see. We got some extreme volleyball going on today, too. Lincoln Extreme Volleyball at 12. That's at home. I think our other sidekick, Jake the Snake Johnston, he's with the Lincoln Extreme Volleyball.
Is that why he's missing this show?
Yeah, and he's our baseball knowledge, so until we get him back, we won't have any Cardinal updates for you because Joe doesn't care.
And there's not room for three of us on this couch.
Well, we'll pull up a chair here. And that looks like it's about it for any local sports. Like I said, call in if you have something that is going on, and we'll get it on here, or email. Email does work. Lloyd proved that.
Don't make us come looking for you to call in here. We'll or you'll have to get a hold of Jim Grimaldi.
Yeah.
So I threw that sponsor out there.
Oh, boy.
Criminal defense attorney.
Well, let's
Bum,
take...
bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Love that.
You do.
You got some more sponsors you want to throw out there?
I want to thank Jake's Furnishings, obviously. He's a huge sponsor of the show. Jim Grimaldi, which Joe already plugged him. Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois. Schneider Chiropractic. And my sidekick here, Joe Ryan, Country Financial. Thank you for your sponsorship.
You're trying to help pay your wages.
Yes, and you do a great job. I'm going to go buy me a new vehicle today.
I was kind of hoping you'd use it to join some type of a recreational facility.
I do. I have a membership.
Did you laminate it and put it up on the wall?
Yes, I framed it. It's expired. So, all right, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk some NFL draft coming up. Talk some NBA basketball if you want, and some hockey. So stay tuned. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 WLCN Online.
That's good.
It is.
Can you name that tune? Come on, you're young,
Boy,
aren't
this
you?
was the trivia question Thursday morning, wasn't it? The boys are back in town.
Yeah.
See, I listen.
Thin Lizzy, nice job.
Yeah, that's all I knew. I didn't know who sings it or what LP it was from, but I knew the song.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back,
It's
and
back
we
when
are
It's
back.
back when I was young.
And we got some comedians in this place here. When we were off the air, the jokes were flying, and
A lot of funny people
a
here.
lot of fun. We're gonna have open mic
Well,
night
when
one
you-
of these nights.
When you've got a crowd of over 300 watching the show
Yes.
live, there's a lot of funny people.
There are, and some jokes were flying, some that we cannot repeat, and others we can, but I won't because it was against my Cubbies. They're just the brunt of all jokes.
Yeah, it's easy.
It
Easy
is.
to make fun of.
It
you know.
is. It's too easy.
Kick somebody when they're down.
Right. Well, let's move on. I know we're out of season right now, but the NFL draft coming up. All you Bears fans should be excited right now because I know I am with the signing of Jared Allen. Lamar Houston from Oakland. We've shored up our defense, and we're looking pretty good right now. But the NFL draft was May 8th through the 10th. I always thought it was mid-April.
yeah.
End of April. So I was getting pretty excited. Now we've got 33 days, 9 hours, 14 minutes, and 15 seconds
I
till the
think you're
draft.
running a little behind.
So we got a little ways before the draft. So the Bears, I don't know, they're probably still going to go defense. We still need some DBs.
Hey, you're going to keep Cutler around, aren't you?
Cutler's going to be around. We need another backup quarterback. But the big names coming out into the draft, Manziel looked good. Bortles, another quarterback, looked good. Hightower. Is it Hightower from Louisville?
No.
No, Bridgewater. Bridgewater from Louisville. Quarterbacks. And Javon Clowney had his pro day this past week. And they
He's a
said
stud.
he just looks like a beast.
Yeah.
And he's saying he wants to go number one, and I'm sure he will.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could go number one.
Who has the number one pick? Is it Redskins?
Would have been
Anybody
a good
in the
trivia
crowd?
question.
Crowd?
I don't know who has number one, to tell you the truth.
Jacksonville?
Yes, well, you do all those trades in the off seasons, and you know, it changes so much. I don't ever keep track of it, but
Texans.
Texans.
the Texans have it.
The Houston Texans, and they may go with the defensive end. And
What-
they've done that the past couple years. They went with some defense.
You know, Deshaun Jackson got moved around
He
a
did.
little bit, and he's going to the Skins.
He's
When you
going
brought
to
the
the
Skins up. That made me thought of it.
And there's going to be a little investigation there with Philly. The NFL is getting involved. They want to know why Philadelphia Eagles released him.
Yeah, who knows? The NFL's going to get involved. And
Yeah, I mean, it's at their own discretion. I mean, if you want to release them, release them. But they're thinking it had some other issues involved. So
probably did.
Probably did, but you never know. But, yeah. And RG3 would be thrown to him, so that could be interesting.
Yeah, that could. I tell you what, Deshaun
All you
is
fantasy
he's
football
a good receiver.
fans, you know,
He's
numbers
quick.
could go up.
What about Chris Johnson? What's going to happen with him?
Tennessee just released him the other day. Don't know. He had that one huge season, and then last year he didn't do.
You know, they said like
Really?
at the combine he ran like a 4.2,
Yeah,
5.40. Wow,
but
4.21 maybe. Flying.
flying. But if you're not getting hit, that's fine. But once you start getting hit, and you know, it's going to slow you down. So I don't know where he'll go.
That's why you pay those big linemen so he doesn't get hit.
Right. I don't know.
The Tony Simples of the world.
That's right. Just kind of
Andy
looking for
Kings.
who needs a running back.
Well, everybody could use. To me, this game's became so much. You know, the injury bug will get you. You got to have some people sitting back there that can step in and replace.
Well,
I mean,
back in the day, your running backs went first in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're seeing running backs go second, third, fourth round because they're just not a, I guess, hot commodity in your offensive system right now. It's all passing. It's all quarterback, wide receiver, and defense. Where the running backs, they feel that they can draft somebody in the fourth or fifth round and plug in there where needed.
And they're all looking for that big backside tackle, protect that quarterback from that rush.
Right.
You know, I've always wondered about, you know, even at the high school level, you know, sometimes, you know, you want to go put your bigger guys on the line. Obviously, it's old school. You know, you're going to put your bigger guys up front to block. But these defensive, you know, have changed their schemes, and they're going to put some, you know, some cats on the line that can get up and go, and they're going to go around those guys all the time. You know, they can't get their feet moved quick enough, and it's created some havoc. And then so you saw how we've changed quarterbacks. We have made them, you know, a more agile athlete back there, not someone that's going to stand around and pass the ball. It's changed the game, really. I mean, to me, I think defenses have changed the game more than offensive.
Right.
The scoring is all up, you know, through these penalties. I really, if there's one thing the NFL would change, I wish it wouldn't be giving them the ball 40 yards downfield. If it's interference, you know, here's your 15 yards, here's a first down, let's go ahead. I understand how it happens, and I tell our kids, you know, if you're beat, you grab them, tackle them, knock them down, something, because it is only, you know, a smaller penalty. We'll go back and do it again, but don't let him run by you and score a touchdown.
Right. And you're talking, if it happens in the end zone, you get it on the one, you know. It's, some of the rules are kind of.
But you know what? The NFL has done a great job of, you know, making this America's sport, because they do so much. Everybody wants action. Nobody wants to see it be 3-zip. They want action. They want touchdowns. They want
then
scoring.
Why do you eliminate the kickoff returns? Because that's action.
Now they say that's injury related. But
nonsense.
But I, you know, for one, love the kickoffs. That used to be the biggest thing when I was a little kid.
And it made the game, because at any given point, you know, somebody could return a touchdown or have a big return for good field position. Now it's just kick it out of the back of the end zone, take it on the 20, and be done with it. Why just eliminate the kickoff period?
Well, let's face it. You know, when you're watching a game anymore, it's became a part of the game that you don't even watch. You know, if somebody scores and you walk off when they start to kick the extra point, and you go to the bathroom or do whatever you're doing, you really don't have to be back for 5 or 10 minutes, because they're going to kick off. It's going to go out of the back of the end zone. They're going to take another timeout, and then they're going to come back in and play. And no one even watches it anymore.
And it's funny you say that, because the first 2 games of the preseason, they're moving the extra point back to the 25.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're trying to keep people at their TVs or what they're trying to do, but, you know, it's not just a little chip shot anymore. You're moving it back to the 25. That's a 37-yard field goal for an extra point. Now, if they do implement this into the regular season and playoffs, let's say you're playing in Green Bay or Chicago or even New England in January, and you're going for an extra point for a win. Well, it's not just a little chip shot anymore. It's a 37-yard field goal with, you know, 20 below zero and the wind blowing 100 miles an hour.
It's absolutely, it's going to make it more interesting. I'll stick around to watch that extra point, you know.
Right.
If it's going to go like that.
I don't know. We'll see. But let's take our last commercial break, Joe, and then we'll come back. We'll wrap up the show, and we'll talk about where we're going to be next weekend and the week after. I'd like to thank the rest of our sponsors, especially the Christian Village is where we're at today. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Bob Neal, St. Clara's Manor, and we got one more page here. Liberty Village of Clinton, and the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel, who also provides us with fresh coffee, pastries, donuts, bagels, which you've been pounding. And
say they're not helping you any with your weight loss
plate
program.
Right here. Joe's got him a bagel and some strawberry cream
good
cheese.
Stuff.
Yeah. So
I'll just have a little bit of it.
Just a little. Just a bite.
Just a little bite.
Just a half. All right, stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com.
You probably used to dance to this, didn't you?
This is before my time.
Way before my time. Lloyd probably pulled this off of one of his CDs.
See, this is how before my time was. I was getting ready to say you can't touch this. That's like MC Hammer.
Because you had parachute pants.
I did. Who didn't? I know you did.
Mine probably weren't as tight as yours.
And we are back. We are at the Lincoln Christian Village, up in their, what's this, their library. Got books, some good books.
Study.
Yeah, the study. The newly remodeled Christian Village here in Lincoln. If you have any questions or you want to find out any more information, you can call Kara or Julie at 217-732-2189 and talk about all their services, the Almost Home service and all their outstanding rehab services.
And
next week we will be at the Lincoln IGA in downtown Lincoln next Saturday from 9 to 10, and Jim, Jeff, number 2, and Lisa, the Fix 96 prize girl, will be live from 10 to 11 to kick off the all-new second Saturday of the month flea market and sale in at the Clinton Street parking lot entrance. Make sure you join us next Saturday.
yeah, get out. You know, it'd be a great day for you to go shopping, go down and support the IGA. You know, those guys they're good guys. They give a lot back to the community.
They
you
do.
know, Billy Campbell's always got something to say when you walk in the door. If you'll go in early enough, he'll give you a little jab early in the morning, brighten your day. He just had his 60th birthday. I don't know if you saw that. But you know, happy 60th, Billy, if you're out there today listening to us. Yeah, get out and go to IGA shopping. You can visit with us a little bit.
And there's going to be several vendors out in the parking lot, right? Is that my understanding?
Yes.
And selling stuff. It's a flea market. Some of it might be junk.
Good, and some of it might be so good.
Yeah, so, you know, flea markets, you can usually find some good stuff there. And,
Love flea markets.
I think it's pretty easy and pretty cheap if you want to be a vendor. I think they said like maybe $10 or something like that to a vendor's fee. That's nothing.
No, why don't you go sell something there? What could you sell?
I have nothing to sell.
Nothing. What's some drums?
No, I'm not selling those. Crazy? Come on, Joe.
We need to have you on here playing the drums sometime.
No, we don't. But be sure to get out there. It's the second Saturday of every month, I think all the way up till October. And they're going to have the ribeye sandwiches out there, too.
That's good stuff, too.
So I know what I'm doing after the show.
So get out to your local IGA.
Absolutely.
And wish Billy a 60th. Happy 60th.
Well, somebody else has a birthday coming up, too. I don't know who that could be. Maybe the person to my right. Don't you have a birthday
Maybe
coming
you have
up
your
here?
directions messed up.
Well, let's see. I got a text to make sure I wished you a happy birthday.
Who are you getting texts from now?
Oh, okay. April 8th, my buddy Joe Ryan will be turning
40.
right in between the big 50. You're
I'll be
almost
40.
You're half a decade old.
Look at me. Look 25, don't I?
You don't look a day older than 25.
You know, Vanessa's got this highlighting messed up in my hair, so I look a little older than I am.
That's another issue that's been one of mine for quite some time now. When you're driving down Woodlawn and you look up at the billboard and you see Joe Ryan Country Financial, that doesn't even look like you anymore.
It costs money to change that billboard. We're going to have to take donations up.
We'll go to Walmart and buy a $2 can of spray paint and just white spray paint.
You know what?
And
I'll go to Walmart and get some hair color. I'm going to walk around here with jet black hair for a while. See what you guys think.
That would be cool. We'll go right now.
I may have that on for our show in 2 weeks. I'll have maybe next week at IGA I'll have jet black hair for y'all.
Let's do it.
See if you can spot me. I may have. I'll look 30 then. Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, happy future birthday to Joe Ryan. So I'll put we'll put your phone number on the website so they can call you or text you.
It's on that billboard.
Yeah. And as always, be sure to check out Comcast Channel 5 in Lincoln and Mount Pulaski for film coverage of LCHS basketball games. And, of course, the Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, Joe Ryan Cheap Seats Live Saturday morning sports show. Brought to you by WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. As always, thanks to the Hampton Inn for the coffee, bagels, pastries every Saturday. They
good stuff.
It is. They bring those in for us. Well, that's going to do it, Joe. Our time's up. I hope everybody was a little smarter today with our sports knowledge. Or
at least a lot of people probably feel better about themselves because they walk off and go, you know what, I'm not as dumb as those two guys.
I know more sports than those two bozos, but, we didn't claim that we're the smartest, but
No, we've never said that, and that's why we're on radio, because that has something to do with how we look.
well, it is on TV too. But
Let's hide that.
yeah, we got the little blur button. All right. Well, once again, we'll be at the IGA next Saturday, 9 to 10, and then stick around because Jeff number 2, and Lisa the Fix 96 prize girl will be right after us from 10 to 11. So come on out and see us, and there will be prizes to be given away. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for tuning in. You have been in the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.